Peace, peace. Welcome to Mama Living Healthy. This is the segment So Boom. I'm Tymay, and today our special guest is Sia.
Hi.
So the first question I want to ask you is, why is it important to meditate?
So meditation, the reason why it's the first thing I prescribe to everybody is because it's such a simple practice that literally costs you no money. All you need is a little bit of time, and it can make such a huge difference in your life simply because you're finally giving yourself a space of stillness and presence. And people are always saying, I want to become more self-aware. And I'm like, that is the best thing that you can do for yourself, is literally just sit with yourself, because we live in an extremely fast-paced society where we are being constantly stimulated. Like, the level of stimulation that we have on a day-to-day basis between like the internet and our phones and TV and work and whatever else we have going on, it's like something that we've never experienced before. So we're trying to catch up with it. And a lot of the times we put our well-being on the back burner. We don't even realize what's actually going on inside of us. We just kind of keep it moving. And so meditation is you giving yourself the space to check in and to ask yourself, well, where am I right now? How am I feeling right now? And just be with that, without judgment. And it gives yourself the space to allow your emotions to come up, allow yourself to sit with what you're feeling as well. And it's such a simple thing that can make such a huge difference in your life. I mean, the benefits are just incredible. Yeah.
Absolutely. Is there a favorite way to meditate for you?
For me personally, I love meditating in community. I really do. If I can do that, I will do that. Even if it's just me getting like a couple of friends together. I've had the most powerful meditation experiences in a group, which is why I do teach meditation in a group. But if it's just a friend, like if we can hold hands and meditate together, you will have some mystical experiences really fast. Other than that though, my favorite way will be also sitting outside. I tend not to do too many like guided meditations personally, because I like to really pay attention to what's happening inside of me. And so nature is like the one thing that can really carry me and like really allow me to feel what I need to feel. And so if I can just sit outside, even if it's just in my backyard, and just be with myself in silence for at least 10 minutes, that alone is really powerful for me.
So on your gardening journey, do you have a favorite herb or something or vegetable that you've grown that you enjoy the most?
Yes, absolutely. Tulsi, hands down, which is basically holy basil. It's a form of basil that's extremely medicinal. It's mostly used to make like teas and tinctures and things like that. And it's an adaptogen. And so basically it literally gives your body exactly what it needs. So if you are tired, it will give you a little bit of energy. If your mood is low, it'll kind of help you feel a little bit better. If you need to calm down, it will help you de-stress. Like, it literally adapts to whatever your body needs. And it's one of my favorite things to grow because of how easy it was to grow. I literally got a starter plant from a friend, and that was it. You just put it in the ground, and it was like, every time I cut it, it would just grow more and more and more and more until it just almost took up an entire box in my garden. And now that the season is over, I have enough Tulsi to last until next year before I can plant more. And I drink it regularly, especially when I'm on my moon cycle and I'm feeling like emotional, moody, or if I'm in a little bit of a depressive episode or something like that, I'll take Tulsi, and that'll help me regulate my emotions. And it's just incredible for me. Yeah.
So with your dancing, have you ever attended like dance classes growing up, or was there something that came to you naturally?
I actually did dance for about 5 years when I was really young. But honestly, the memorizing routine part was really hard for me. I'm not very coordinated, and people may not think that because I'd be posting like hoop videos where I'm doing all these crazy tricks, but I really am not coordinated. And so I was always like in the back of the class as far as like being able to learn a routine quickly. And it just didn't feel right to me. It felt unnatural for me to have to just follow what this person's telling me to do. But I still love moving my body. Like, it's something that makes me really happy. And it wasn't until I started going to shows. Before I had Sage, it was like I was like 15, 16. I started to attend like live shows basically, and I started to dance to live music. And that was the moment that I realized I love dancing, but I love dancing on my own time and my own agenda, and doing so freely. And so it was from that point that I realized that I don't need anybody to tell me what to do, how to dance, how I should be dancing. Literally anybody can dance. You can move a little bit, you can dance. And so I fell in love with it from that point on, and I still really enjoy dancing in my backyard. I love dancing at events if I can find some. We've had some drive-ins lately, and to live music, whatever I can. Like, it's such a freeing experience for me.
Do you follow cookbooks or do you cook intuitively?
Oh, so I'm always an intuitive cooker. When I first started, when I first went vegan, I did follow cookbooks and recipes that I found online, simply because I had no idea what to eat or what to cook. And so it was like, I would literally go on Pinterest and I would look up vegan recipes easy. And then I would just scroll and I would save all the ones that sounded good to me. And every day I would make one new recipe. If I could, you know, like some days I'd just be like, pop pizza in the oven, like a vegan pizza in the oven. But if I could make a new recipe, I would. And then I kind of, from there, decided what I liked. And then I was like, you know what? I've already learned all of these different ways to make all of these different plant-based foods. So now I'm just going to do what I want. So it was just from there that I knew what ingredients I liked. So I would go to the grocery store. I'd be like, I like tempeh and I like vegan cheese and kale and whatever else I would get that I knew I enjoyed. And then I just kind of started to just pick things out of my fridge that I wanted to eat on a particular day and just threw them together. Like, I would say I have like a basic blueprint that I follow. Like, I'll have like a protein and a grain, and usually like some kind of vegetable, some kind of green, and then I'll put like a sauce on it with seeds. So like that, and that can vary in so many different ways. And I've made so many different recipes from just that little blueprint. And ever since then, it's always been intuitive because I prefer to listen to my body and what it needs. You know, and I don't know, some recipes don't really be hidden. So now that I know what I like, I pretty much stick to what I like at this point.
That makes perfect sense. And that's a really good strategy. Like, I can't really seem to follow cookbooks, but, you know, like, you know, naturally you kind of alter them, and then you're like, okay, this is my new favorite dish, or, you know, maybe my daughter only likes this kind of vegetable, so we'll just kind of swing it in there. Like
exactly.
that.
And that's definitely another thing that I do. Whenever Sage is here, it's usually, my meals are usually centered around what he likes. And then I'll kind of tweak mine a little bit to give it a little bit more, you know, pizzazz.
Yeah.
But yeah, if he's here, it's like, okay, I know he loves rice, he likes quinoa, he loves like chickpeas, stuff like that. He loves like curries and things. So I tend to make what he likes whenever he's here. And then when I'm by myself, I'll kind of do my own thing.
This sounds great. My next question is, what can people learn from your spiritual development online course?
So the spiritual development online course was made specifically for people who are either beginners or just want to really deepen their spiritual practice. Because what I found was, you know, a lot of the times when you can Google search anything these days, and I'm one to be 100% about that. But a lot of the times when you Google search something like meditation, even, it kind of, most of the websites that you find are going to be very esoteric, very like over your head, like using all of these huge and unnecessary words. And a lot of the information also is not practical, not even just with meditation, but with everything else, even with ritual and things like that. It's not practical. And it's like somebody can read that and be like, I have no idea what they just said. I have no idea how to do this. I don't know what that means. And so I would get all these people asking me questions like, how do I do this? Like, can you just put it simply for me, you know? And I was like, you know what? Let me create a space where people can go and learn everything that they need to know to build a spiritual practice for themselves. Something that can literally be a practice, something that they can do every single day. They can move with the cycles of the moon and know that they're doing something that's enriching their lives and know how to do it. And I make sure that it's really easy to grasp as well. So I don't use any like crazy words. I'm just very like, this is what it is, and you can apply it in this way. And, you know, I give practices and everything. So yeah.
I completely agree about the whole Google thing, because there are a lot of things that I try to look up and, you know, I'm just like, this isn't helpful. So maybe I try. I'll try a podcast, or even though like there are obviously like books available, but if you don't have like an interpreter or in a way to kind of understand that language, then it does make it difficult to continue in that direction. So that makes complete sense.
Exactly, yes.
With doing all of that, like what keeps you like motivated to continue doing these things?
So, this is something that I've really been working on this year, is coming to terms with the fact that I am really not always motivated, really at all. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. So it's like, I have learned to do the things that I know I want to do and know bring me fulfillment, even if I wake up and I'm like, I don't feel like doing anything today. Because when I do complete something, I complete a course, or I help a person, or I teach a class, that brings me motivation. So there have been some days where, like on the days that I teach in person meditation classes, I'll wake up not feeling too great, but I know I go to this class, I teach it, I see how it impacts people and feedback and all of those things. And then I'm suddenly like, I'm inspired, I feel amazing, because it is what I love. And so motivation for me has just been getting grounded in what I love to do and what I know brings me bliss and what I know helps other people. And then when I wake up on a given day, it's like, some days I'm super excited, other days I'm just not. And so since I'm grounded in what I love to do, I know I can continue going in that direction, and that motivation will come to me eventually. And so, yeah, that's my biggest thing, is just I just keep moving, I keep moving. I remember why I'm doing this, which is to help people. Literally, that is the basis of my work. And so knowing that I'm continuing to do that is what really helps me stay motivated.
It's definitely not easy, with the ebbs and flows of life. So
yes, absolutely. Especially this year, there's been so much happening that, some days it's just like, wow, it's exhausting. It really is. And so when people ask me about motivation, I'm like, it's okay to not be motivated all the time. You know what I mean? It's just the difference in making progress is understanding that if you are only doing things when you're motivated, you're not going to go that far that fast, because some days you just won't be. And so, it's about finding that balance between listening to your body, where if I'm literally dead tired, exhausted, I will allow myself to rest. But other days I have energy, I just don't have that like oomph, but I continue to move anyways. And that's kind of how I make consistent progress. Yeah.
Where can people find you?
Yeah, so you can find me. I will just say the biggest hub is like my Instagram account, which is mamasolaris, which is mama and then SOLARIS. And from there, you can find, there's a link in my bio with my website, my all of my other social media pages, as well as my online course. And you can just you get an idea of what I'm about, what I teach, and who I am, just based on that hub right there. And so, yeah, that's the best place to find me.